Let's talk to Vanessa Frankland, former prison governor. There's a couple of stories have come across the desk this morning about some more problems in the prison system. Robert Jenrick wrote about this a while ago, about how Muslim gangs seem to have overtaken an awful lot of the prison systems in the country. And not only are they sort of, ruling by violence, but they're also kind of converting an awful lot of people, willingly or otherwise, into the Muslim faith. We now, of course, have had the incident in the prison up in the north of England, where the brother of the Manchester Arena bomber threw some boiling butter over the prison guards and stabbed a couple of them as well. And apparently now the people in the prison service are fearing that there will be more attacks like that, particularly from Islamist fundamentalists. Let's find out what Vanessa knows. Vanessa, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. This is a real problem, isn't it? Because it seems to have sort of come up on the rails without people really noticing it or talking about it. I mean, until this attack from Hashem Abedi that happened over the last month or so up in Frankland, I think in County Durham, I didn't know there was a problem with Muslim gangs in prison, but it seems like there really is.
Well, I think the MOJ has kind of kept the lid on this as much as it could. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Look, I think we need to face this fact.
Yeah.
My concern is that we have several high security jails that we are in risk, very high risk of losing. Only the other day there was a fight between two opposite gangs at Frankland that staff had to intervene. Yeah. Again, without stab vests or any protection. And it's becoming an issue, and unless the MOJ get a grip of this and actually face up to the issue. Look, I'm not saying that there's only Muslim gangs in jails. Yeah. There are many types of different gangs, right. Postcode, football, whatever, but these are prevalent. They are causing disruption to the good order and discipline of prisons, and the MOJ seriously needs to do something about it.
Yes. And when you say some of the prison officers don't have stab vests, is that an issue of money? Is that just because they're not issued with them as a general principle, or what?
Well, the last time the Prison Officers Association asked for stab vests for staff, which was a couple of years ago, yeah. They were told by the Ministry of Justice that it would make staff look too intimidating. Oh, yeah. Take of that as you will. But I think, we live in a violent society. Right. And
guess what? The people in the prison are probably being put there because they're violent.
Absolutely. And, I think... we need to look after our staff. They do a very difficult job in very difficult circumstances. Overcrowding doesn't help. Shortages of staff doesn't help. And I think we really need to get a grip of our prison system and go back to basics and stop appeasing prisoners, stop trying to appease various outside bodies, and literally get a hold of our prisons again, because we are in danger of losing them.
Yeah, quite. And was there a time when you were involved with prisons and governing them, etc.? Was it better then? Was it more? Were you more able to be sort of, more draconian, I suppose, in the way you treated the prisoners?
Well, I don't think it's draconian to have discipline, to have regimes that are strict, to have prisoners know the line. I don't think that's draconian. I just think that serves for good order and discipline. And also, when you have a well-run, disciplined prison, prisoners prefer it because they feel safe. Yeah. And there's an awful lot of prisoners that don't feel safe in jails at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And so, I mean, what needs to be done? I mean, you said, for example, right at the start of this, they've tried to keep a lid on this problem with Muslim gangs for obvious reasons. I mean, obvious reasons obviously being we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to make out that we're racist. We don't want to be accused of anything that we're not guilty of. All of those nonsensical reasons for not telling the truth. Surely that's all got to go now.
Well, I think you need to look at, one thing isn't going to solve this. I think my own personal thoughts are that we need to go back to something like a supermax jail where, leaders of gangs are taken out, they're put in segregation. Because at the moment, what we're doing is we're segregating those that are in fear of these gangs. And that can't be right. Yeah. To keep people who are scared segregated. It should be the other way around, surely. You don't reward the bully. You know, you look after the victim.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think we seriously need to get a grip of it. I think I would like to see much more discipline in it. There's no point in just having like a supermax jail and stick them all in, because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. But certainly you can look at your intelligence system should be telling you who are the main ringleaders, who are the ones that are causing the issue, and split them up around the high security estate. You know, we live in a violent society, and a mirror, you know, a prison is a mirror of that society. Violence is much more prevalent in prisons now. You know, the assaults on prisoner and prisoner on staff has gone up incredibly over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, and we need to look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Vanessa, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Vanessa Frake, former prison governor, saying that basically the prisons are out of control. They need to be sorted out.